In recent events that have seen McDonald's sales take a hit, we're observing a powerful example of international solidarity and consumer awareness. The unfolding situation, which connects the fast food giant's operations to the tragic realities of human conflict, flags an important question of ethics in business, if that's even possible, and the role of everyday people in shaping global justice. McDonald's, a brand synonymous with global capitalism, has found itself in the throes of a widespread consumer boycott across the Middle East and beyond. The catalyst of the backlash was the revelation that McDonald's Israel offered support to Israeli soldiers in the form of free meals during the active conflict in Gaza. The implications of a corporate giant like McDonald's supporting one side in a conflict with such deep humanitarian concerns are inherently problematic. The company's decision to provision one group in a war inevitably casts them in a partial light, something their CEO Chris Kempczinski has attempted to label as misinformation on social media. But let's look at the facts. Actions inevitably speak louder than words. By aiding the Israeli military, McDonald's has, intentionally or not, positioned itself within a complex and deeply sorrowful historical narrative in their pursuit of profit. The backlash from communities and individuals who see this as a corporate endorsement of the military actions carried out in the Gaza Strip speaks volumes and is reflective of the broader consciousness regarding corporate responsibility. When we witness the McDonald's operations in Pakistan and Indonesia reportedly making donations to aid organisations in Gaza, it underscores that businesses will wear different masks in different markets in order to make more profits. It also illustrates a fundamental truth. There is an intrinsic understanding among people that businesses should not profiteer nor take sides in conflicts that result in severe human suffering. But they always will, because the only reason that business exists is to make a profit, no matter what. The ongoing boycott, which now transcends national boundaries, represents more than a mere reaction to a single decision by a restaurant chain. It's emblematic of a growing movement that demands responsible, ethical conduct from multinational corporations, especially in regions suffering from the effects of war and colonial legacy. With McDonald's confessing to a meaningful business impact, it's clear that consumer choice can and does influence corporate policy. This impact, however, should not be surprising, as it acts as a barometer of public opinion. Consumers are no longer divorced from the geographic and political ramifications of where and how a business operates, which in turn steers clear economic outcomes. While Starbucks, another American corporate titan, recent history involved boycotts and vandalism due to similar accusations of partisan support, the thread connecting these events is clear. Consumers seek transparency and accountability. At the heart of the boycott is not just a stance against a particular corporate action, but a call to all multinational companies to reflect on their values and the consequences of their operations. The case of McDonald's serves as a cautionary tale that no amount of community connections can override the imperative of ethical conduct. McDonald's navigates a challenging scenario, not solely due to the boycott but due to a deeper issue of corporate ethos and accountability which are increasingly subject to public scrutiny and activism. This is not about picking sides in a far-away conflict. It's about demanding that corporations recognise the weight their operations can carry. The dynamics of global capitalism are such that companies like McDonald's often portray themselves as merely commercial entities, divorced from the political and social landscapes in which they serve. Yet the true power lies with the people, whose choices can upend this narrative and force a corporate reckoning. In the crossfire of political and humanitarian concerns, brands cannot hide behind the veneer of franchised independence. As consumers and global citizens, the power of the boycott becomes a critical mechanism for activism, ensuring that principles of justice, human rights, and peace are upheld against business motivations that will contradict them. The attention now shifts to the upcoming disclosures of financial details by McDonald's, which will perhaps shed light on the depth of the meaningful impact, as mentioned by Kempczinski. Still, whatever the figures turn out to be, the real story is already written in the actions of the individuals and groups calling for accountability and change. In these episodes of Global Solidarity, where consumers have gathered across national borders to hold a corporation to ethical account, we realise our collective strength. It's not a story about faltering sales. It's a narrative about the triumph of shared values and the pursuit of an ethical global community, one which supports peace and human dignity for all. The statistics of loss and suffering that emerge from the Gaza conflict are more than numbers. They represent an immense human tragedy. When reports indicate that around 1% of Gaza's population has been killed, the contemplation of such devastation challenges our collective consciousness. In this context, the association of companies like McDonald's with the machinery of war is brought into stark relief. Consumers, as the ultimate drivers of a business's success, have responded with their purchasing power, protesting against what they perceive as a company complicit in these tragedies. Far beyond mere brand damage, this boycott acts as a referendum on corporate behaviour in areas marred by suffering and struggle. As the boycott grows and its effects are felt within McDonald's ledger books, the issues extend beyond lost sales and into the realm of brand integrity. In today's global environment, brands like McDonald's must recognise that their actions are constantly evaluated through the lens of ethical behaviour. They aren't just selling products, they are inadvertently selling their values, or the apparent lack thereof. Foundationally, in a world interconnected by social media and rapid news cycles, misinformation is often cited by companies as a scapegoat for broader issues. Phrases such as associated misinformation, used by Kepczynski, cannot simply brush aside the very real perception and beliefs held by consumers, regardless of whether these beliefs stem from misinformation or a clear understanding of a company's actions. The ripples from the boycott are reaching a global audience, and the ruckus isn't just about McDonald's, but about the larger corporate culture that often disregards the political and humanitarian implications of their presence in areas of conflict. This widespread impact of consumer activism shows that there is a small space within the market economy for moral considerations. The actions taken against McDonald's, Starbucks, and others are creating a precedent, serving as a powerful signal to corporations worldwide. Consumers are watching, and they're willing to act. It's a demonstration of collective power that has the potential to realign our world away from profit-driven business into a human and planet-first priority-driven society. For McDonald's, and indeed for any global corporation caught between its business dealings and the wars that ravage our world, the way forward requires a serious examination of policy and the implementation of ethical frameworks that govern operations. It is no longer tenable for business to claim neutrality in matters that have clear moral and ethical implications. While McDonald's faces immediate financial repercussions, the deeper impact may be on its long-term reputation and the way it conducts business in the future. Will McDonald's leverage the moment as an opportunity for reflection and change? Will they institute policies that avoid associating their operations with state-sponsored violence or military actions? Will other corporations learn from the episode and recognise that profits cannot be divorced from the responsibility that comes with operating in a complex, connected, and often divided world? Probably not. Their sole motivation is to make profits for shareholders. While this may have been a PR blip for them, there will be scandals in the future as they ruthlessly pursue their profits. These developments are a reminder that we are not powerless in the face of corporate giants. Our choices as consumers have the power to affect change and influence the policies of multinational companies. The dialogue around these events shouldn't dissolve into forgotten headlines, but should prompt further discussion on corporate accountability and responsibilities of global businesses to humanity at large. Through unity and purposeful action, we bear witness to the potential for a different system to capitalism and its twisted incentives, one that serves the global community's interests while respecting its diverse voices. The boycott against McDonald's is more than a momentary lapse in sales. It's a testament to the principle that solidarity can change the economic status quo. But more work will be needed to finally end the scourge of capitalism and its purely profit motive driven business that causes so much harm in the world. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe and share.